Hello everyone. Welcome if you are new to the channel. Welcome back if you love me. I love you too. I was guided to do a quick reading. I was guided to my Harrow cards, which are technically from D&D. They're from the Pathfinder Chronicles. I was guided to my Kipper deck and my Healing Light Tarot. And I wanted you to see these cards, okay? The first card I pulled was the Hidden Truth. It's an intelligence card. And it's lawful good, and it says, the hidden truth symbolizes the ability to see past the obvious and the banal to a greater truth within. Sometimes this discovery is an esoteric one. Sometimes it's a literal find, such as an item revealed within a room. But regardless, it is a card with the power to reveal secrets. Misaligned, it can mean a secret being revealed to the subject's detriment. However, all of the cards that follow it are positive. So I'm definitely reading this as finding a greater truth from within the self, potentially unlocking something in the manifestation because of it, right? Because if it's aligned with your energy and your energy is really high, I'm feeling like, especially because the hidden truth, the figure on the card, quite magical he is pointing to a book. Now, books to me symbolize both the Akashic record and sometimes universal law, right? Because universal law is by the book. That's what, that's kind of where the saying originally comes from, right? The universal law is doing things by the book. And so, by the book also being Akashic record, I feel as if this wise figure and all of his magic is pointing to, like, it's due. I just feel like something's due. Like there's a point that you've reached in the story, the self-discovery, that you've become what is essentially quite privileged on this journey. You've got marriage and courtship with the privileged lady card, lady being feminine energy. And then we've got journey and house on the top and bottom. Now, if you look at the number of these cards, I was like, holy shit. The privileged lady is 12. That's 1, 2. Marriage came out next, which is 3. And then courtship, 4. So we've got progressive numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And even the top and bottom of the deck, 10 and 20, are technically progressive numbers, right? Not only is it, countable by 10, but it's also 1, 2, right? So we've got this progress, this numerological progress, like the steps are being taken. I feel like whatever and whoever is resonating to this, your divine feminine energy, your intuition, I feel like your own masculine energy has finally married your heart space. You're finally listening, getting comfortable listening, becoming more aware of what it is to listen to your heart space. And if something feels off, you're just saying fuck it and addressing it, as opposed to buying into fear or fingers crossed hoping it works out or whatever. You're just like, whatever the consequence I think is, I'm going to override my fear of the consequence, and I'm just going to listen to how I feel because something's off. And so I'm just going to go with it. So I feel like this journey that you've taken either is quite literally leading to a house, and you might be moving into a house, and or you've established some really strong value within the self, because sometimes the homes are also indicative of the self. Our bodies are home to our soul while we're here, right? So it's house and home and self are all kind of synonymous. So we've got this marriage within the self and what is potentially a lot of stability and movement, right? Movement. Yes, it could absolutely be leading to a new partnership. And this is further confirmed with the tarot. Right, I use the Healing Light Tarot for more insight. Now, the privileged lady is clarified by the 2 rows with the 6 of Wands and the World card, and the 8 of Wands with the Queen of Swords and the 2 of Cups in reverse. Now, the way I read this under the privileged lady, I feel like there's victory in closing a cycle. That's pretty straightforward with the 6 of Wands and the World card. And I think that it's because you've been getting these synchronicities with the 8 of Wands to cut off a soulmate. It could be someone in particular who has really strong air placements, but fixed air is Aquarius, okay? I look at queens as fixed energy. So fixed air, which is the Suit of Swords, is Aquarian energy. It could be any air sign, and they could have any air placement, all right? Just because they're not an Aquarius doesn't mean they don't have an Aqua Jupiter, or they don't have an Aqua Venus, or an Aqua Moon, or Aqua Chiron, or whatever it is, right? Whatever their Aquarius placement is. But I feel like you've been getting pings. Your heart space, who you've allowed to be privileged, right? Because the masculine energy within the self always calls the shots. And the masculine energy has privileged the feminine energy with calling the shot, because the masculine is calling the shot or making the choice in alignment with what the feminine feels. The feminine still can't actually choose anything. The mind or the masculine has to do that, but it's given the feminine the privilege of letting it know what to choose. So I feel like there's a victory in closing a cycle and listening to that ping within the self that acknowledges that something needs to be removed, cut off, pertaining to a soulmate. Soulmate with the 2 of Cups, right? Now, the soulmate doesn't have to be romantic. It could be family. It can be friends. It could be work-related, okay? It doesn't have to be romantic, but it is a soulmate connected to you. Strong Aquarian energy, strong air energy that is being let go of. Now, the marriage card is clarified by the 2 rows with the 8 of Wands and the Queen of Swords, 2 of Cups reversed, as well as the Death card with the 5 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. All right, so with this ping, right, to cut off whoever it is, right, whoever it is that needs to get cut off, there's this union within the self, right, and huge transformation takes place. The conflicts that manifest with your own inner world being misaligned, I think you're moving away from that, because the 5 of Swords is conflict, it's arguments, it's tete-a-tetes or ego battles with someone, especially when one person is trying to convince the other is right and the other is trying to convince the other that they know they're right, and you don't get anywhere, right? It's a tete-a-tete or a head-to-head, right? Ego versus ego with the 5 of Swords. And I think you're done trying to convince someone of something. You're over it, or you've decided against it before it even ensues. You're just moving forward. And that's the big transformation, that it's not worth the time to continue investing in whatever this is. With the 4 of courtship, right, we have the courtship card clarified by the 2 rows of death with the 5 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. And the King of Cups clarified by the Ace of Cups. I think this might literally be the outer reflecting your inner. So if you find yourself in inner union, you might most definitely be pulling in someone who is very emotionally mature, in that they don't let their emotions get the better of them. They're not reactive, right? This is someone who can hold their emotions together in the face of what is essentially emotional immaturity, or someone who is volatile or loose with their emotions, right? Someone who has a tendency to act from an emotional place without processing what is happening and feeling through it. They're just reacting with their feelings, right? And there's a big difference. The King of Cups is emotionally intelligent. Kings to me are cardinal energy. So cardinal water, right? The cups is the suit of water. So cardinal water is Cancer. So strong Cancerian energy. The Scorpionic energy is there with the Death card. So really strong water. This is definitely someone who is an emotionally intelligent person. Okay. The King of Cups understands that what they feel is a sign to trigger how to respond, not react, but respond. They read their feelings like a GPS, right? And this is, I think, what you've been working on in your own, privileged feminine energy, right? That you've given your heart space the privilege of being felt before making a decision or making a choice, that you're considering how the heart space or the psyche feels. And so the King of Cups is manifesting with an Ace of Cups. This is an overflow or a pouring, right? The Ace of Cups is the vessel. We talk about in Tarot, the Ace of Wands being a very phallic or strong masculine type energy, where the Ace of Cups is the same thing for the feminine. It's the vessel. And so I feel like whatever this King of Cups is bringing in, it's birthing something from a very beautiful, emotionally healthy place. And with the Hierophant and the Chariot on the top and bottom, there may be strong Taurian energy or strong Cancerian energy. They could also have Cancer Chiron, or even, they could have Chiron Taurus. That's neither here nor there. If they don't have Cancer Chiron, please, don't get hung up on it. I think a huge lesson's been learned with the Hierophant. A huge lesson in martyring the self and not doing that. Right? Showing some compassion and nurturance with the Cancerian energy to move forward, divinely move forward in compassion for the self. That you've learned not to negate your feelings. That's essentially what this whole reading is about. So I have faith that this will have helped you in any way that you needed it to, that it has served you in divine time whenever it has reached you. The truth is, I think you're due for a huge win. The hidden truth, right, that you might not see coming, is that you've actually aligned within. You've learned something big about yourself, reading the energy, and how to move forward with that awareness in order to manifest your highest good. I mean, we're talking privilege, we're talking marriage, we're talking courtship, we're talking journeys and homes and being in alignment. There's something or someone being removed that is out of alignment. The chapter is closing and it's a huge victory. And this could be someone that you're currently involved with, romantically. It could be someone from a past life that you might not feel like your connection is super deep or extensive in this life, but it was in a past one. And cutting it off and ending it is closing a very long cycle that has probably taken place over the course of lifetimes. And you're just not buying into it this life. You're just not doing it. You might have been romantically involved with them at another point in time, in the timeline of things. But whatever lesson you've learned, you're most definitely not humoring it or feeding it this life. And that's a huge victory. Yeah, huge victory. So I love you. Don't forget to hit the like button. Hit it right now. Hit the like button. Hit it right now. And don't forget to subscribe so you get more messages from me in divine time like this. Whenever they're meant to catch you and whoever they're meant to come through for. I never know who the messages are meant for. I just have faith that they reach who they reach whenever they're meant to reach you. So, you know, always check out a reading and see if it resonates with you here on the channel. Until next time, guys, my love and support is with you always. Bye.